with, I'd just like to invite the leadership of St. John's National Academy of Health Sciences and the leadership of PORTENT and Dr. Tony to come and take our seats. First, Reverend Father Jesudoss Rajamanickam. So if you could, Father, if you could just take a seat here on the stage. Thank you. Reverend Father Jesudoss Rajamanickam is the director of the St. John's National Academy of Health Sciences, of which St. John's Research Institute is a part. Next, I'd like to invite Reverend Father Ajith Menezes, who's the Associate Director, College and Research, to take the stage. I'd like to invite Dr. David Erickson, who should be just come and take the stage. Dr. Tony will be introducing Dr. David later. And Dr. Saurabh Mehta should come and take the stage. Now I'd like to just invite Dr. Tony to come and give the welcome address and kick off this inauguration.
Good morning, everyone. Reverend Father Jesudoss, our director, and Father Ajith, our associate director of the Medical College and Research Institute, Dr. David Erickson, and Dr. Saurabh Mehta, who are the leads of the PORTENT Center, advisory board members who've come from all the way to St. John's, PORTENT collaborating with PIs, and participants and distinguished invitees and guests. On behalf of St. John's Research Institute and the National Academy of Health Sciences, St. John's National Academy of Health Sciences, it gives me great pleasure to welcome all of you to St. John's. Right, the weather is pleasant, and I hope it remains pleasant over the next few days. I was part of the meeting last year, and it was a privilege to attend the first annual meeting in New York last year, and that's when this idea was seeded, where we said we'd be happy to host this entire event in St. John's this year. And we're very happy that you've all made it here. I'm sure there are going to be many other participants as we go on to the next 2 days where startups and others are going to join us. The PORTENT Center, it's been wonderful working with the PORTENT Center. The journey's been wonderful, working with startups, working with various experts, ultimately with this whole aim of taking point-of-care diagnostics to, again, impact where the need is. And that was so relevant for St. John's, because St. John's as well is an institute that is committed to education, service, and innovations to address health issues primarily for the understanding. And this whole vision of PORTENT aligns very well with the vision and mission of the institution. This meeting is tightly packed, as you'll see from the agenda, and I'm sure you will enjoy every bit of it. The team has put together with visits as well as deliberations here and talks, and sure that you feel absolutely well. As part of our tradition to welcome at least our leads, the directors of the PORTENT Center, I now request our director to welcome with a shawl Dr. David Erickson, who's a principal investigator and co-director of the PORTENT Center for Point-of-Care Technologies for Nutrition, Infection, and Cancer. He's also the S.E. Thomas as director for Sibley School of Mechanical and Aerospace Engineering at Cornell, with joint appointment at the Division of Nutritional Sciences. Now request our Associate Director of the College and Research Institute, Reverend Father Ajith Menezes, to welcome Dr. Saurabh Mehta, who's a co-director of the PORTENT Center. He's also the founding director of the Cornell June Clean Jacobs Center for Precision Nutrition and Health, the College of Human Ecology. He's Janet Gordon Langton Professor at the Division of Nutritional Sciences, Cornell University. and welcoming each one of you all who've come here, traveling thousands of kilometers. Enjoy the stay here and enjoy the meeting. We're all happy to assist in any way if you have any challenges. Yeah, welcome to St. John's. And back to
Thank you, Dr. Tony. The next part of inauguration is something uniquely Indian. We'd like to share that experience with you. So I would like to invite all the dignitaries to join together in lighting the ceremonial lamp, the symbol of light and knowledge that we hope to keep going throughout the conference. I mean, the meeting as we're sharing knowledge. So we're just going to set up, it'll be a real fire. We'll set up with a wick and candle. And so, yeah, that's how we do it. Thank you. Please take your seats. Moving along, I'd just like to invite Dr. David Erickson to give the opening remarks and an outline of the program.
So thank you so much, everyone, for joining us today. This is a very exciting time to be here, and I'm very excited that everyone was able to make it. So I'm going to say a few things about the PORTENT Center here, and then maybe a little bit about what the purpose of this event is, and then express some of the challenges we've been having and how those might be able to, how I envision that this might be an event by which we might be able to make things better. So purpose of the PORTENT Center, we have, so what the PORTENT Center does is aim to advance point of care diagnostic technologies for those that wouldn't otherwise have access to them. So we do that in a way that we provide both funding to support those teams, technology teams that are able to develop new technologies, invent new things, and these sorts of things. But also what we try to do is do two other things: connect them with those that have the expertise to know what those in our partner countries need. So, for example, in our LMIC countries, but also we try to do that in a way that makes people understand the way that it's not just about inventing something. So what I always like to say is that it's really easy to invent something, and it's very hard to invent something useful. And the way I think we are able to invent something useful is by connecting in and the whole point of the PORTENT Center is to enable us to be able to not just invent stuff, but to this particular element of the PORTENT Center, I think, is quite unique in the sense that we are trying to put together a network whereby we can not just create business models, but create business models that are worldwide and useful globally. So that what that means is much different than inventing a business model in your particular country, whether that be here in India or in the United States or wherever. We'll be able to create business models that can maybe be broadly And the way we've done that is by being able to have over the last 6 months, over the last 6 months, a number of different kinds of connections with, whether it's with global health funders, with people that understand the regulatory environment, people that understand business models worldwide, these sorts of things. What we really tried to do is create a system that will allow everyone to be able to make those connections. So, and we've done it through a number of different things. So one is we've created a series of lectures that many of you have attended, not all of you have attended. Those are also available on the PORTENT website. You can do. The other thing we tried to do is create one-on-one connections with mentors and individuals that have been able to tell you what you would like to be able to do in those connections. The clinical immersion. One of the great things that we try, I think what is really going to be useful here, and again, our center is only a couple years old, but one of the things that I think that this is going to be really useful for, and I hope people recreate this in the future, is to be able to go to places and see what does an urban healthcare clinic look like? What does a rural healthcare clinic look like? What does manufacturing look like in India? Right? What's that look like around the world? I'd really like to be able to make sure our teams have the ability to see what everything looks like. I'm really excited about everything that's happened here and our ability to here to over the next couple of days. I think this is going to be exciting. We've had a number of successes in PORTENT. So again, our team, our network has only been a couple of years old. We've had a number of important successes, one of which has been the anemia fund. So it's to Saurabh and the team to be able to, and their successes there, and being able to create a new form of diagnostic to be able to monitor iron deficiency anemia, enable that in a very point of care kind of format, and be able to do that in a way that has never been done. And be able to do that at scale. Again, as I say, it's very easy to make something, it's very hard to it's useful. The key thing we're really trying to do here at PORTENT is be able to get that from the place where something happens in a lab to be able to do that. The other thing I wanted to mention was the incredible work done in malaria with MoBio. And so Dr. Tony, Dr. Mary, in terms of being able to take the tests and these sorts of things that have been done in the lab, enable that to done places where that has been. Right. So again, the kinds of things I hope we're able to do with the center is enable the kinds of technologies that exist and bring them more, make them more popular. So I want to give another round of applause for that. And then I cannot, go on without saying that without the team, the people that have been made this possible in terms of the clinical network they've put together, both here with St. John's Research Institute, with Uganda, of course, with Agri and his team in New York with Marshall and his team, and in Ecuador with Wacho, who's not able to join us. But again, the whole idea has been to be able to bring everybody together and make sure that has happened. So again, I think the last thing I wanted to mention is that this is a time in when it has been challenging to create and maintain international partnerships, particularly those originating in the United States. And what I would like to say is that I think what I would love to see is that this represents the sort of the continuation, but also what I would love to see as, I would love to see this as sort of a partial interruption in what I believe will be a long-term collaboration between, our country and everybody's country, because the best science, best medicine, everything occurs in the international. And I believe that by continuing our work and doing everything we can together, that will be the long-term strategy. So again, I will just, maybe we should all just put our hands together and agree with that. So with that, I will just say I would love to thank those that put their longest, an enormous amount of effort into this. Let me thank Ryan Fernandez over here for his efforts in putting together the effort, and Versegi over here for putting together his efforts in doing everything. And again, thank you so much, everyone. Thank you so much.
I'd like to request Associate Director of College of Research, Reverend Father Ajith, just to give a short address. Thank you. Respected Director, dignitaries on the days and off the days. First and foremost, welcome to St. John's. Secondly, in the connectivity we speak about, and in the engineering field, connectivity has reached the skies. The connectivity definitely is needed, and in a special way, connectivity in terms of communication, yes, we have reached to the skies. But connectivity with regard to the healthcare, we are in our baby steps. That's what comes about point of care. The accessibility, the convenience, and efficiency. These are the three terms in the point of care. Definitely, everybody looks at accessibility and convenience, but what is the efficacy? Yes, in India, definitely we have to reach to the village. That's why St. John's is all about reaching the poorest, reaching to the marginalized, reaching out to the unreachable with this point of care. I wish you all the very best. May God bless us all. Thank you. Thank you, Reverend Father. Now request our director, Reverend Father Jesudoss, to give his address.
Brother Ajith, Menezes, Research Director, and Dr. Cornell, Dr. Erickson, Dr. Mehta, and my dear partners with the St. John's for the sublime mission. Welcome to St. John's. A word about St. John's. St. John's is established in 1863, you might know, by the Bishops' Conference of India, with sublime mission to reach the engaged, to connect people with one another, understand in a different platform, St. John's, especially in medical education and medical care and medical research. In this campus, we have 7 institutions, like our medical college, and also Institute of Allied Health Sciences, Medical College Hospital, and we have a research institute, of course, and also a nursing college, and newly established a center for geriatric, St. John's Geriatric Center for Elderly. And that is a kind of established with a special mission to connect people with one another. And also it is my honor and privilege to warmly welcome all the members of PORTENT, a center for point of care technology for nutrition, infection, and cancer, a visionary initiative at Cornell University. We are especially grateful for the presence of Dr. David Erickson and also Mehta, whose leadership and commitment represent the very heart of this collaboration with the mission. At the core of this initiative lies a deep and timely conviction that diagnostic solutions must be affordable, accessible, and adopted for low resource setting. In other words, innovation must reach those who need it the most. In this light, PORTENT is not just a center or concept, it is a promise to break barriers, to decentralize care, and to transform outcome across some of the most pressing global health challenges: malnutrition, infectious disease, and the cancer. This vision resonates profoundly with the ethos of St. John's National Academy of Sciences. Our institution stands on the belief that even the least deserves the best. This is not just a motto, it is our mission. We deeply committed to ensuring that the benefits of science and healthcare reach the margins. We believe that the true measure of progress is how it uplifts the most vulnerable. And so we continually invest our expertise, resources, and compassion to make society not only healthier, but more humane and just. For us at St. John's, technology is not just an end in itself. It is a means to heal, to empower, and to serve. That's why we are proud to stand alongside Cornell University and global partners in this shared mission to ensure that innovation is inclusive, sustainable, at the end, life-changing. Let us remember, dear friends, science is the best when it serves humanity, and care becomes transformative when it is grounded in equity and compassion. Let us move forward, not merely as an institutions, but as a community of concerns, driven not just by excellence, by empathy. Together, we can envision and enable a future where no child suffers from undiagnosed malnutrition, where no individual is denied treatment for want of timely diagnosis, and where no community is left behind. Thank you for your presence, partnering with the St. John's in this important mission. We offer not just our infrastructure, but our commitment to making a positive change in the lives of many. May this get together inspire new solutions and new stories of hope. God bless and have a pleasant and excellent and fruitful stay at St. John's. Welcome once again.
Thank you, Madam Father. We're now going to have the college anthem. So I just request you to just rise from your seats, and we're going to play the college anthem. This is St. John's anthem. Just briefly. Give me.
St. John's, with pride my song resounds. I hail thy pennant, blue or white. St. John's, thy spirit in me bounds. Be thou my guide, my beacon light. There stirs thy call within my heart. In thee this pledge I seal. To raise thee in shall be my part, to minister, to heal. With every moment born and gone through different deities, thy vision will endure sublime. He shall live because of me.
Thank you very much. Please take your seats. So with that, our inauguration ceremony comes to an end. We'd like to thank Reverend Father Jesudoss, Rajamanickam, and Reverend Father Ajith, Menezes, Dr. Saurabh, and Dr. David, especially Dr. Tony. Thank you so much for just sharing so much of your heart and your mind with us, and your time especially. Thank you so much.